We are going to be taking this boring looking enclosure and turning it into to get an enclosure looking like this, you're going to be needing a couple of things. First thing you're going to need is, of course, the enclosure. Personally, for us over here, we have the Zen Habitats 4x2 setup for our bearded dragon. We've had it for a little over a year now, and we've found that this guy absolutely loves this setup. He's been running around digging, and it gives everything he really needs in order to thrive. Although Toad, our bearded dragon, really does seem to like this enclosure, I believe that we can take this one step further, and how we are going to do that is, of course, making it a completely bioactive planted vivarium. Now, the first step in order to making this enclosure into a planted vivarium is, of course, starting from scratch. We're going to need to take out all these enclosures and, of course, take out Toad, too. He's going to be in a little bit of vacation home for the next 30 minutes or so, but when he comes back, I'm sure he's going to love the new place. Alrighty, now that we have a blank slate to work with, next step is actually going to be to put the logs and the sticks in. This way we're able to see where's the best way we can landscape the plants and where they're going to look best. Alright, I gotta say, this enclosure is already looking pretty awesome. So how exactly are we gonna make this even cooler?
Well, I was thinking adding some stones and plants. And I do have some plants already. We have aloe, we have, let's see, cactus, we have a sedum, we also have a hens and chicks, and an echeavera.
An echio what?
Echeavera. Echeavera?
Wow. That sounds complicated.
Yeah, they're all succulent, so hopefully they'll do well in this dry environment.
Now I gotta say, the first time I tried my luck with succulents, it did not go very well. My first ever bioactive vivarium with Rex, my bearded dragon, those plants lasted somewhere around 24 to 36 hours before he completely trampled or ate them. So we actually hand selected these over at our local greenery to make sure that these are gonna be a little bit better, a little bit more hardy, and all in all, this dragon will enjoy just a little bit longer than mine did when I first did his. Well, alright, I guess I will go grab the very heavy bag of stones and we can get started. $3.99. Can you believe it? So what do you gotta say about this enclosure?
I really like it, and I hope that I picked the right plants and they won't get trampled, but I tried to put them strategically so that they were kind of out of the way and tried to, stick them in with the rocks, so hopefully.
Stick them in with the rocks.
Yeah, hopefully the rocks.
I think it's really the opinion of us that matters. I think it's Toad's opinion. So let's say we get this little guy back in his enclosure and see how he likes his new setup. Well, if I were to be in the mind of a bearded dragon, I would say that he much enjoys this as well. We gotta see him running around a little bit on the log, climbing up on the branch, and now he is enjoying his sweet basking spot. I know there are a lot of people that say bearded dragons aren't arboreal, but this is Toad's favorite spot, climbing up this large Java wood branch in order to get on the basking zone. Eventually, we actually had to move the basking zone from this corner where we had a slate rock because he just kept climbing and wanting to bask on that, so we figured, hey, let's just give him what he wants, and once again, I just want to give a huge shout out to Zen Habitats, where this enclosure would not be possible without them being gracious enough to send me one over here. Now, I absolutely love the Zen Habitats enclosure. We've actually had it over here for a little over a year now, and honestly, nothing but good things to say about this setup. Cheap, fast shipping, great enclosure, bearded dragons love it. What more could you ask for? If you guys are interested in getting your own Zen Habitats setup, they have a multitude of different dimensions and sizes to pick from. You can find all that information right down there in description below. No, you're too tall. I need to be taller than you.
I'm not doing it.
No.
No.
And then remember, folks, I don't like this. I'm not for this.
I thought guys liked tall Amazon women.
No, it's exactly the opposite of that. Yeah, no, it's exactly...
Don't tell me that you weren't all excited about that lady in that video game like everybody else.
What?
You know the lady in the video game. What's her name? I don't know what game it was. She was super tall. Like big boobs.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You guys know? You know what I'm talking about. It was a couple months ago. It was everywhere. Maybe last year. I don't know. I remember it.
I'll give a huge shout out to the lovely Renee for helping me make this. She really has the artistic design when it comes to these planted enclosures that I definitely do not have, as you've seen with some of mine. So huge shout out to her for making this possible. It definitely looks a lot better than what I could have made. As I know we didn't get to the bioactive part of this build, but I actually did make a video all about making a bioactive setup for bearded dragons. If you want to check that out, it's going to be right here. Probably, or over there. I can never remember where I put it. And as always, folks, thank you so much for taking the time of your day to follow us over here at DBCB Exotics. We'll see you next time, but until then... No, you put it on the...
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You gotta tell me that. Okay. Is that good enough?
Bye.